So let's go ahead and move on to our segment of the big games of the week, where we review what happened this past week, some of the big games. We're going to go ahead and start off with Thursday. We had number 4 Arizona blowing out USC 90-77. We had unranked Ohio State shocking number 16 Wisconsin 83-73. And number 15 Cincinnati crushing Memphis 87-74. We also had number 5 UCLA dominating Arizona State 87-75.
There you go again, man. They start scoring.
I tell you get up to that 100 range, that 90 to 100 range, you better watch out because they're going to start scoring.
I'm not going to lie, Burger. I've actually been paying attention to a little bit of that Western basketball. UCLA and Oregon are the teams we need to pay attention to.
Arizona, too.
Yes, but I'm telling you, Oregon and UCLA before Arizona even. But yes, you are right.
So go ahead, moving into Saturday's game. We had a bunch of games going on Saturday. We had number 1 Gonzaga going down and getting upset by your boys, the BYU Mormons.
You damn Jesuits out there at Gonzaga got beat by the damn Mormons. Come on, guys. I mean, actually, you know what? That's what you get. That's what you guys get. You know why it's what you get? Because Mormons are not to be screwed with.
Also, you had number 2 Villanova handling number 23 Creighton 79-63. You had number 6 Oregon squeaking by Stanford 75-73. Now for some of the big surprises. You had unranked Iowa State surprising number 9 Baylor 72-69. You also had unranked Miami shocking number 10 Duke 55-50. You had number 11 Kentucky defeating number 13 Florida 76-66.
Oh no! We suck again!
And you also had unranked Michigan destroying number 14 Purdue 82-70. And lastly, and I know you want to talk about this, we had number 19 FSU, Florida State, edging out Clemson 76-74. Now that, to me, is a big improvement compared to last game when they got blown out by 60 points.
Here's what I got for Clemson.
No balls, no balls, no balls, no balls, no balls.
Y'all do not have a pair of testicles between the whole damn team. Brad Brownell, I don't know how many times I have to say this. You are a good guy. There is not a person on the planet that could meet you and not like you. But you are not getting it done on the court. I mean, my God. 7 fucking years, dude. I mean, in 7 years, that's what most people spend in the fucking desert wandering around and Bible speak and shit. Like, you always hear about the crazy guy who got commandments from God. He wandered the fucking desert for 7 years. What the hell have you done in 7 years? I mean, fuck. Oliver Purnell was here less time and had less talent and did better. The fuck?
So you're saying this is the beginning of the end for Brunell?
Oh, god damn, I hope so. I mean, like I said, I like the guy, but shit. You built the fucking new Little John. You've been pouring money into everything left and right. He recruits the wrong guys. Those are his recruits. He doesn't recruit guys that have that fucking edge, that fire, that fuck you, I want to win. He just gets milquetoast guys. He doesn't go out there and find those fucking in-your-face dudes that just say, I don't give a fuck if you like my attitude. Fuck you. I'm going to jam this ball down your throat, bitch, and I just won the game. Suck on my balls. Like, he needs those kind of guys. Fired up sons of bitches who can ball, not these motherfuckers from private schools who are like, oh, I will sit back here and drain the three, Jeeves. Like, no one wants that motherfucker. Fuck that. I want ballers, and he don't get ballers.
So, I mean, where does Clemson basketball go from here?
Anywhere but fucking Brad Brownell. And like I said, I hate dragging him so fucking bad, but it's like, god damn it, how much more losing do we got to do before you realize him and his recruits got to go?
So moving on to Sunday's action, we had number 7 Louisville crushing Syracuse 88-68. We had unranked UCF shocking number 15 Cincinnati 53-49 in what looked like an ugly, ugly ass game.
Cincinnati, every time someone starts having a little bit of faith in your ass, this is what you do to people. Seriously, football, basketball, pro football, pro fucking baseball, it just doesn't goddamn matter. It doesn't matter. Ugh.
You also had number 21 Notre Dame edging out Georgia Tech 64-60, and unranked Michigan State upsetting number 16 Wisconsin 84-74.
Oh, Wisconsin lost again?
Again.
Again?
Again.
Y'all are nuggets. Go down the drain.
So then on Monday, you had Virginia dominating number 5 North Carolina. You had number 11 Baylor blowing out number 10 West Virginia 71-62. You had number 1 Kansas.
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you go back and give me that one again?
Number 11 Baylor blowing out number 10 West Virginia 71-62.
Damn.
I know Country Roads looking bad.
Country Roads didn't come through.
And number 1 Kansas crushing Oklahoma 73-63.
Yeah, Kansas is in the driver's seat right now. They're looking good.
So then on Tuesday, the big marquee matchup for Tuesday was the Duke, number 17 Duke, edging out number 15 Florida State 75-70. What was a hell of a matchup.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about how these are two teams that could possibly be meeting again in the tournament. And then they could. But, you know, honestly, I'm quite shocked the ACC hasn't completely eaten itself alive. It's kind of how like the SEC football programs used to be 10 years ago. They were eating each other and beating the hell out of each other so bad that they weren't really getting anywhere after the regular season because the damn competition was so tough and grueling. It's like ACC basketball now.
You also had number 9 Kentucky beating Vanderbilt 73-67, which was a really close game.
That is a close game.
A game they probably should have blown them out.
Hey, you know what? By right, you have a point there.
You also had number 16 Purdue dominating Indiana 86-75, and number 24 Iowa State squeaking out a win over Oklahoma 86-83.
It seems like Oklahoma ain't nothing without that Buddy Hield guy or whatever his name was. I think that's how you say it. He went to the NBA. He used to be like their guy that got it done, but they just don't seem to have anybody that's getting it done.
So looking at tonight's games, we have Florida defeating Arkansas. Oh, hold on a minute. My page just checked on me. Here we go. Sorry about that. Number 12 Florida beating unranked Arkansas 78-65, which was no surprise.
Correct.
You have number 8 Louisville winning right now against Wake Forest 11-6 with 17 minutes to go in the first half. You also have number 19 Notre Dame up 6 points on Boston College with 14:44 to go in the game. And also later on tonight, you have number 3 UCLA against Washington, which shouldn't be any problem for UCLA.
No, because especially if like we keep going back to time and time again, UCLA's defense is non-existent. They don't hardly play any of it. They have one of the most prolific offenses in the country, and it's all about limiting their possession time, limiting their scoring, because if they start scoring and going on a crazy run, it's hard to slow them down. They keep building momentum. Before you know it, they've got 90 points, and you're looking at a mountain that's almost impossible to climb at that point.
I mean, honestly, you hold UCLA under 80, you have a chance to win the game, correct?
Oh, absolutely. If you keep them under that 80 mark and battle them, and you make them actually slow down and grind out scoring and like press them the entire, oh yeah, you have to. You have to stay on. You can't let them relax.
I mean, Arizona did it.
You cannot let them play their style of basketball. You have to force them into playing yours. Slow them down, control the tempo. If you do that, you can win. If you play their style of basketball, you're going to lose.
You got to get boards. I mean, apparently they were out rebounding horribly in the second half against UCLA.
I agree.
So I want to kind of pat ourselves on the back again. because I wanted to let everybody know how we did. So week 5, which was not this past week, the week before, we ended up finishing 9-5 at a 64% pick rate.
Strong.
This past week, we were 9-4 so far, picking at a 69% rate.
Even stronger at the moment.
And we still have 2 more games that are still going on. I know Florida's one of them. We did win that game. And the other one's the Louisville game, which is still being played.
So are we technically, what's the record now then?
We're 9-4 right now, but we're actually 10-4.
10-4 right now?
We're 10-4. And then if, of course, Louisville, they hold out and beat Wake Forest, which they should and have no problem.
We'll be 11-4.
We'll be 11-4.
That's pretty damn stout.
Yes. But, not counting those 2 games, we are overall 52-35. We are now officially picking at a 60% rate.
Strong.
And remember, guys, we've said this every show, and we're going to keep saying it.
We're not Vegas guys.
We're just 2 guys from South Carolina
Making our picks.
doing what we love.
No bunk. No bullshit. No gimmicks. No jive.
So, we're football again. We did really good in football. I was a little nervous about going into basketball because I've never really done the pick'ems with basketball before, but we're doing really good this year. I'm proud of the rate we're picking. 52-35, that's an impressive ass record.
It is a very impressive record. And we've even discussed that. We've discussed off air, of course, that we were thinking about even adding some baseball picks into the mix. Like going through a couple weeks, go through the entire week in which, from show to show, we'll pick marquee games, obviously in college, and we won't make a lot. It'll just be like 6, 7, 8 games, like really good games, and we'll pick them. Because I guarantee you we could do pretty good at that too. Hey, we don't got credit cards D. We're not hanging with Mafia and Pharrell at the tables. We're just working class guys. That's no shit.
So looking at how we did this past week with our picks, on Thursday we had USC at Arizona. We took Arizona. And of course, Arizona won that game 90-77. And the other game, again, we talk about Cincinnati, the team we can't trust. We had them actually being upset by Memphis because Memphis was at number 15 Cincinnati. And of course, Cincinnati won that game handily, 87-74. So we ended up 1-1 on Thursday, which isn't too bad.
I agree.
We'll take the split.
Listen, I'll take a split over getting just straight-handed.
We've talked about this before. We don't want to start the week out 0-2 because it's hard to come back from the 0-2.
That's kind of when you get on that downward slope, and then it's kind of hard to trudge back up. Because you're right. When you start off on the good foot, it usually tends to go better. When you start off on the losing foot, it kind of just seems to go worse. It is. It's hard climbing the mountain once you're down.
Now on Saturday, we actually did really, really well on Saturday. And I know we've struggled a little bit on Saturdays because it's hard to pick. A lot of upsets happening. But this week, the first game we had number 5 UCLA at number 4 Arizona in the key matchup. We took UCLA. And of course, UCLA won that game 77-72. In the other game, we had number 10 Duke at Miami. We took Duke, and of course, we all know Miami won that game 55-50.
And actually, that was a defensive game.
Remember, I think we were talking about this last week. Didn't we say we thought Miami might upset them?
We actually did talk about how this could be one of those weeks where a lot of teams going on the road just couldn't get it done. And we seem to have actually been pretty right about a lot of that because we did really well this week.
Also, we had number 23 Creighton at number 2 Villanova. We took Villanova. And of course, Nova won 79-63. No issue for them.
No issue.
And then the one I'm probably the most proud of this week, we had number 9 Baylor at Iowa State. And I remember telling you this game, I was like, I can't trust Baylor. I haven't been able to trust Baylor all year.
That's true.
And I've said that all year. And I said, I think they're going to be upset by Iowa State. We took Iowa State, and Iowa State won 72-69 in the upset.
Hey, listen, we've been getting a lot better at calling a lot of these upsets, too. Because what I like about it is how we seem to have a smarter sense in knowing how teams are going to react by having a bad game one week. Do they have another good game or another bad game? We've been getting a lot better at judging that. Because look at those games. We did a whole lot of winning. Did we not?
Saturday we were actually 3-1. So I mean, 3 out of 4, 75%, not bad at all.
Fuck no, not bad. We did really good.
Sunday got even better. Sunday, number 22 Butler at Xavier. We took number 22 Butler, and Butler won 88-79. And in the second game, we had Syracuse at number 7 Louisville, and Louisville just pretty much laid the smackdown on Syracuse, and they won 88-68. So we were 2-0 on Sunday.
And I remember talking about that game, and I said that Rick Pitino was going to be able to outcoach Jim Boeheim, and it happened. He thoroughly outcoached him.
You know, badass, with the good, there always comes something else, too. You know what that is?
The really motherfucking bad.
Yup, and Monday was bad for us.
There's always a bad day.
And they were pretty key matchups, too. I mean, they were top 15 matchups, so they were hard to pick. In the first one, we had number 8 UNC at number 18 Virginia. We took North Carolina, and Virginia won 53-43. Again, ugly. When you only score 53 and the other one scores 43, that's pretty bad. That's an ugly game. That's a defensive game.
That is one of those games where it might actually be boring to watch on TV, but really fun if you're actually at the arena witnessing, because a lot of people don't want to see a defensive battle anymore. Because, I mean, we've talked about this time and time again, Berger, about how, it used to be a different sport. There used to be a deeper connection from the fan base to the colleges, to the players, because they stayed longer. They had rivalries. The games meant more. They gave their heart and souls to them because they genuinely either hated or loved one another. And it used to be different. Like, there used to be big-time games where there would be blowout scores, and then there was games where you're like, wow, the first person to 50 points is going to win this game. But it used to be a whole lot more fun to watch. And today, most people don't want to see that shit. They want to see buckets, 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 not steal, miss, rebound, steal, miss, make it, steal, bound, remiss. They don't want to see that anymore.
And it wasn't like it was a light game either. It was number 8 versus number 18. And Virginia's, I mean, they've been a pretty good team this year. I mean, they have had some struggles, but they've stayed pretty solid in the top 20.
Agreed.
I mean, they could be one of those teams that, another sleeper team that, watch out for them because they could make a run in the tournament.
Right, don't count them out, count them in.
And then in our second game, we had number 12 West Virginia at number 9 Baylor. We took Country Roads because we love Country Roads here at the Burger and Badass Show. And I have no faith in Baylor because Baylor are trash. But I was wrong, and Baylor actually came out and played, and Baylor won this game 71-62.
I mean, maybe West Virginia was just having an off day. Maybe Baylor matched up with them better, because I know West Virginia is a good team.
I really have no faith in Baylor. I mean, I've said a million times, but I really have no faith in Baylor.
And I can understand that.
They're a 1 or 2 and done in tournament.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I used to trust them in football, but those days are done too.
So, with the bad, always turns out to be something else too. What's that, badass?
The ugly.
No, the opposite.
The really good?
They're really good.
I was under the impression we'd already done the good.
We did the good, then we did the bad. Now we're going to the great.
Okay, I'm with it. All right, I'm with you on that one.
So on Tuesday we had one of our marquee matchups. We had number 19 Florida State at number 10 Duke. We both said Duke's going to come and play in their hometown, in their stadium, and they did. Duke won the game 75-70 in a very close game. And Duke actually was winning this game pretty handily by 10 or 12 points at one point, but Florida State did battle back.
Well, all I can say is this, for all of you who've never been and don't know, Cameron Indoor Stadium is a monster of its own. It literally is hard to think in there, and the officials are not going to help you. You are at the mercy of either you're better than them and you're going to outright beat them, because if you leave it in the officials' hands, forget about it. That's why it's so hard to win in Cameron. It's just, it's a hard place to win.
Same way it's hard to win over North Carolina.
Right. It's hard to win. In fact, if you're going to Tobacco Road, chances are good you're going to lose there. This is how it is.
So we ended up 0-2 on Monday, and now, going into Tuesday, we start off 1-0. It's pretty good. We had our next game. It was Indiana at number 14 Purdue. I said Indiana was going to play Purdue close, and I was absolutely wrong. Purdue actually won this game pretty handily, 86-75. And I really wasn't surprised. I knew Purdue was going to win this game, but I didn't think they was going by that much.
I could have swore that we took Purdue.
We did take Purdue.
Okay, that's what
I said we took Purdue, but I said Indiana was going to keep it close. And I was actually wrong on that. I said I thought it would be a close game because Indiana's still a good team. They're not great, but they're still a decent team.
But apparently the Boilermakers had some other words for it.
Oh, yeah.
He said, they had some more than words.
And then our last game of Tuesday, we had number 24 Maryland at Rutgers. And I remember this game because I said, we're going to pick Maryland, but there's a chance Rutgers could win this game at home. In Maryland, we're going to take you, but you fuck us. This is the last time we pick you.
And seriously, Maryland just really likes to fuck us.
They do.
They make a fucking full-time job out of it. Like, you know what? I never have really cared for the state of Maryland. I really haven't.
I know you haven't, badass.
And there's only one part of Maryland that was ever good, and that's where my sister went to college.
Oh, I love that place.
Up there in Chestertown in Maryland. Washington College. Hey, for all y'all who don't know, that's the little slice of Maryland that's awesome.
It is. I have to say, I've been there numerous times, and I at one point thought I was going to move there. Remember that? I was like, man, badass. I can see myself moving there.
Yeah, you really were like talking like, man, this isn't too far away from Delaware. This is actually doable.
So then I decided just to move to South Carolina anyway.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty funny.
So we took Maryland over Rutgers. And Maryland actually didn't fuck us this time. They actually did us a solid. And they won 79-59.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Terrapins, thank you. I do love your crab cakes. So every once in a while they can do pretty good.
Still don't have total faith in you, but I have a little bit of faith.
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit. So that actually made us 3-0 on Tuesday. So that's not bad. Undefeated on Tuesday. And then tonight we had Arkansas at number 13 Florida. We talked about that just a couple minutes ago. Florida did win that game. And then we took Louisville over Wake Forest. Games being played at Wake Forest. We took Louisville, and that game's in progress right now. So we'll let you know next week how we finished out this week and then how we do the following week.
Absolutely right.
So now what I want to do is go ahead and move into our show that I like doing. It's right near the end of our show, and it comes out every Tuesday. You know what that is, badass?
What is that, Burger?
It is the NCAA basketball rankings.
Ah, yes, the new aficionados.
So the new rankings came out this week, and we have a new number one after Gonzaga lost to unranked BYU on Saturday. The new number one is 26-3, and their name is Kansas. Kansas is number one. Villanova at number 2, UCLA at number 3, Gonzaga at 4, and North Carolina round out top 5. Pretty solid top 5 there.
I do agree.
At number 6, you have Oregon, number 7, Arizona, 8, Louisville, 9, Kentucky, and 10, West Virginia. Another solid 5.
For a top 10, those are pretty good squads. Those are all very, very disciplined, talented teams. All have very good coaches.
11-15 go. We have 11. We have Baylor, 12 Florida, 13 Butler, 14 SMU, and 15 Florida State. Not bad. I still say the whole Baylor thing. We talked about it.
You're a Baylor hating son of a bitch. I love you, man.
I am. But Florida played solid this year. Butler's played solid this year. SMU and Florida State both have played solid. Florida State has lost some key games, but that's a part of playing in the ACC. We talked about it before. And, I mean, it's just a division that you're going to lose 7 or 8 games during the regular season. It's just inevitable.
Or you'll be like Clemson and just get your ass handed to you by everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm over it, man. I'm over the losing.
Like I said, good thing is we have Clemson baseball now, so that's a good thing.
For real, though.
So 16 through 20 go. 16, Purdue. 17, your buddies, Duke. Number 18, Cincinnati. Number 19, Notre Dame. And number 20, St. Mary's. I mean, Purdue, again, they're that team I told you. They're always right there
Sneaky,
in the mix.
sneaky.
Yeah, they sneak around. Duke, of course, they've lost a lot of games this year, but again, ACC play, it's going to happen. But they've been kind of wishy-washy this year. They do have some, glimmers of hope, but in the same sense, they sometimes show weakness and get blown out.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can easily tell when certain teams are frustrated, and Duke has always been one of those teams when you've got them off their center and they're rattled, you know it.
I mean, Cincinnati, we talked about them a little bit ago. They're wishy-washy. They could be another 1 or 2 and done in the tournament.
Or they might, well, yeah, because I would like to say that they could go deeper than 1 or 2 games, but you're probably right, they won't.
Notre Dame 19, not bad. I mean, I know they had their struggles this year, but that's again ACC play.
Right, it's inevitable. You are going to lose games, and you are going to take some hard hits.
And then rounding out the top 25 at 21, we have our boys, Wichita State at 21.
Here they come.
The Shockers.
They're going to hang around. They're not going anywhere.
I might actually pick them to win it all.
Listen, they're not going to win it all, but they're not going to be an easy out for anyone. You're actually going to have to show up, play, and beat them. No shit.
At number 22, we have a team that just had the worst week ever. That's Wisconsin at 22.
Yeah, they did. Wisconsin's just...
And I think they're lucky. They're lucky that they put them at 22.
I know, they shouldn't. By right, they could be out of it.
If you lost to 2 unranked teams in 1 week, you're out of the top 25. I'm sorry.
And if you're still in it, then you better thank the heavens. Seriously.
And then we have at 23, we have Virginia, which is another wishy-washy team. I mean, they show glimmers of hope, and then they...
Go on 7-game, 8-game losing streaks.
Yeah, exactly. So, you don't know what you get with Virginia.
No.
Then you had at 24, you have Iowa State. And at 25, the Miami Hurricanes.
Oh, look at them cracking the top 25.
Finally made the top 25.
You better hope it don't go like the football program did when they cracked the top. Because I remember what happened when they did in football. They went down, down, down.
Yeah, I hear you. You're just a Miami hater. That's all it is.
You know what, Burger? Here, this one's for you. This is what I got for you, Hamburger.
Words fall from your mouth as shit from ass.
Yes, that's for you.
Yeah. So, we are finally at that point of the show, badass.
And what part of the show is that, my friend?
We do our picks for the week.
Let's do this.
All right. So, with our first pick, and see, this week, I actually had to do a little bit of jumbling around because, of course, Sunday's the last day. So, we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Correct.
So, we have 4 days to get 15 games in.
All right, that's a lot of picking. I like it.
It's a lot of picking, but I had to squeeze a lot of games.
Hey, I like it.
So, games that we'd only have maybe like 2 games on one day, we actually have like 3 or 4.
Hey, I like it. That's making it a lot more interesting.
But then again, it's all going to change the following week when we go into the tournament and then the March Madness.
Just think about if we have another awesome run on this. I mean, we could literally start sniffing the 70 percentile range. Can you imagine?
Man, I can't imagine 70% for the whole season.
It all started with a dream.
It was all a dream.
I used to read Word Up magazine.
So let's go ahead and jump into our picks. We have Iowa at number 22, Wisconsin. I mean, we just talked about this team having a bad week. Do they bounce back against Iowa?
Yes.
Handily, or do they struggle?
Struggle at first, and they get in a rhythm, and then I'm thinking about a 7 to 8 point victory.
All right, so we'll take Wisconsin. Our next game, we have Houston at number 18, Cincinnati. Again, another team we talked about that, had the good streaks and they had the bad streaks.
See, I'm wondering if Cincinnati can bounce back, but I don't know if they can do it. I mean, I don't know. I just, you know how I am. Sometimes in my head, I'm a little crazy, and sometimes the way I think of things are off the wall.
Let's just say it's like a Leonard Skinner lyric. Ooh, that smell. Can't you smell that smell?
The smell of death surrounds you.
The smell of an upset.
It could be because Cincinnati's on the ropes, and I'm not hearing that bounce back in my head with them. I'm just not hearing it. I don't feel them to do it.
So you want to go ahead and take Houston in an upset?
Where are they playing the game?
They're playing at Cincinnati. See, that makes it a little more interesting.
Yeah, but what happens when Houston goes up there and actually lays one on them? Now, Cincinnati should win that game.
Yeah, Cincinnati, by the book, should win that game, but do they?
Oh man, I don't want to go against them two in a row, but they've given me no reason not to. But
What's your gut saying? Because I know your gut seems to be always right.
let's take them to bounce back.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take number 18, Cincinnati. And then our last game of Thursday, we have Tulsa at number 14, SMU.
Now, see, this is the one that's scary because SMU's on a tear right now, and Tulsa is a fucking rival game with them because they're so close.
And they're not doing bad this year either.
I know. See, I don't want to take all three of the favorites at their house because somebody's going to get upset.
One of the three are going to get upset.
And Wisconsin's on a slide. I don't know, man. Wisconsin's on a slide. They should be able to correct, though, against Iowa.
Cincinnati's on a slide.
And should be able to correct against
Houston.
But maybe this is where Tulsa knocks SMU down a little bit.
You want to go ahead and take Tulsa in the upset?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take Tulsa in the upset. For the first time, badass, we have a Friday game. First time this year.
Really?
First time.
Cool. Hey, I like it. That's an extra game in on a day that we normally don't have it.
I mean, usually on Fridays, it's like the prep school ones. The Ivory schools, the big
Harvard versus
the Harvard.
Princeton.
The Harvard.
The Harvard.
But we have actually a pretty big matchup. We have number 24 Iowa State playing at Country Roads, number 10 West Virginia.
Iowa State's doing really good right now. And Country Roads is on a slide, and they are at their house, but weren't they at their house the last game and they got beat?
Yep.
See, that's what I mean. Like, maybe Iowa State's not scared to go over there into their house and whoop them, too. I mean, this game reeks of upset, but it also... See, I can see them bouncing back and not losing two in a row at home because that's a rarity in Morgantown.
It is. And, I know maybe it's just my heart talking, but I don't know. Like, something's like, I'm hearing that song, a John Denver song. Country roads, take me home.
Well, then we go with Country Roads.
I don't know. Just something in my head just tells me to take Country Roads. I think they bounce back. They go into the tournament looking pretty strong and get like a top 5 seed in the ACC tournament.
I mean, do I need to bring up the song?
No, don't bring out the song. We don't want to go that far. My little 2-second rendition that sounded horrible will have to do.
Hey, that's good. Hey, good enough for me, brother.
So Saturday, we got an action-packed Saturday.
Damn right we do. I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. God damn, yeah.
8 games?
Shoo.
8 games.
Count them off, count them off.
So the first game, we have number 1 Kansas playing at Oklahoma State.
Kansas is going to whip that ass.
I was going to say the same thing. I don't see Kansas having any issues at all. They're going to go into the championship week at number 1.
Oklahoma State, I don't even care if you get Gottlieb back and get him on the court. It ain't going to help. It's not going to save you.
Then, what's going to be the burger and badass game of the week again, we have the rival of all rivals. We have number 17 Duke playing at number 5 North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. They're at
I knew you were going to say that because I remember the last time we were talking about this, a couple weeks ago when they played, you said the same thing. You were like, that's fine. Wait till they play North Carolina. They haven't played North Carolina yet. When they play North Carolina, they're going to get their asses whooped.
Pretty much this rivalry works like this. 99 out of 100, they beat each other in their own houses frequently. What really, and is a rarity, is when they go on the road and whip the other one in their house, because playing in Cameron is fucking insane. Same way when it's like you're playing over there in Chapel Hill. It's just, it's not easy. It's not a place you're just going to waltz up into and, oh, I'm just going to win. Oh, really? That's nice. That's cute. Like, that's exactly how I feel about it. Because
It's almost like the saying, wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up first.
I would like to remind y'all that Clemson basketball has never won in Chapel Hill. Ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah, I need to bring it forever. Like, seriously, we've never won.
I can't believe that.
Oh, believe it.
That's
it's
amazing.
True.
I didn't know that stat.
Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true.
It's damn true.
It's damn true.
So we're going to go ahead and take North Carolina for the win. Now, my question is it going to be a blowout or is Duke going to play them close?
No, this game's going to be very close. It always is.
Within 5 points?
Oh, yes.
Buzzer beater, maybe?
No, this is going to be where North Carolina takes control in the end and then just stretches them out.
In our next matchup, we have newly added to the top 25, number 25 Miami playing at number 15 Florida State. I mean, yes, I'm a Miami football lover. I love Miami football. I love Notre Dame football. But I don't love their basketball team. And I'll be honest with you, in this game, they have had some upsets this year, and they've looked really good. But I think they have nothing for number 15 Florida State.
I think Florida State's going to handle them at home. This is one of those in-state rivalries where they're both saying, everybody's good, you're good, Florida's good, we're good. We're going to round robin this bad boy, and we're going to see who actually takes the in-state title. Because believe it or not, that shit does mean something to these squads. And Florida State is not going to lose this game because Miami is coming up, but I see them having a repeat of their football program when they broke into the actual stats last year. When they finally made it into the top ranks, they went on like a 4 or 5 game slide. I see their same thing happening right here for the basketball program. I don't know why. I feel like that's going to happen.
We also have number 19 Notre Dame playing at number 8 Louisville. I mean, another big matchup. I mean, right there, you have number 17 Duke versus number 5 North Carolina. Number 25 Miami playing at number 15 Florida State. Now you have number 19 Notre Dame playing at number 8 Louisville.
And I like Notre Dame for the upset.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm liking them to go into Louisville, the underdog, and just saying, what's up, Louisville? Because you know what? Every single time Notre Dame's an underdog and they go on the road this year, they seem to fucking just keep winning. So I'm going to go with them on this.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take Notre Dame over Louisville. And then our next game could have upset intentions here. I don't know. I mean, when I look at this game, I do see a possible upset. I mean, Vanderbilt can play pretty good. We have number 12 Florida playing at Vanderbilt. I mean, they're playing at home. They're decent. I mean, I'm not saying they're great, but they're decent. Can they muster up enough to defeat number 12 Florida?
Having home court advantage helps, but Florida can travel. They're not scared of traveling. They do pretty good on the road.
Oh, yeah, they're a good, decent team. They're going to be another one of the teams that's going to have a long run in the tournament.
Look, I mean, they don't lay down for nobody, so I'm actually thinking Florida's good enough to win.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take Florida. Our next game, we have Seton Hall at number 13 Butler.
I'm liking number 13 Butler. Number 13 Butler has beaten last year's champion twice this year. He's completely dismantled them. So, Nova, I hope you don't catch them in the tournament, because if you do, it's probably going to be 0-3 for you, because they've handled you twice already. I've seen both those games' films, and I'm liking the way Butler's playing right now.
Yeah, Butler's playing really, really good ball right now. And they're another one of those little sneaky teams that are hanging back there and trying to get ready to make that run.
I feel like Butler's going to make the Elite Eight. I don't know about the 4, but they're gonna make the 8.
You really think so?
I think so.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take number 13 Butler. And then another big rival, we have number 7 Arizona going to Arizona State.
See, this is one of those hard to call games because you've got unranked Arizona State against its rival and ranked top 10 ranked Arizona. And Arizona's a good team, but this is fucking rivalry in state. And it's one of those games where you're like, oh, Arizona's going to handily win. And then watch Arizona State beat them with a fucking buzzer beater.
Yeah, it's something crazy. I mean, I do have that uneasy feeling that this game could be a lot closer than what it should be.
Just because Arizona State wants to shit in Arizona's pie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rival. And even the next one that I'm going to spout off, that one's a rival too.
Oh, I don't know, man. What do you think we should do on this one? I mean, it's easy to take the heavy favorites in both, but, I mean, do we do that?
See, I'm pretty confident in Arizona. They went on that long streak for a while with 14 games in a row, I think it was.
Yes.
And they had a really good streak, and then they lost a couple games, but then they bounced back.
And they did so well.
And they played really good against UCLA.
That's true.
I think they're 15-2 in the Pac-12, tied with the lead right now, looking to try to cement their spot at the top going into the tournament, the ACC tournament or the Pac-12 tournament. I think Arizona is going to come out and they're actually going to win this game handily.
So you say we're not overlooking our rival. We know who you are. We know what we are. And we know we're going to just pound you into the dirt.
We're the better team. We're going to come out and show you we're the better team. And we're going to outclass you.
I like it. Let's go with that. I like it. You sold me.
So I know I can get you to come outside.
Yeah, you sold me on that one. You got me sold on that one.
And then one of our other big rivals, we have number 6 Oregon playing at Oregon State.
If this were football, I'd say take the upset, but this ain't football. I already know how this is going to end up because this ain't no travel for these teams. They know each other well. They hate each other, and the better one always usually wins the matchup. And it's very rare that Oregon State actually gets in a good quality upset unless it's in football.
So you think number 6 Oregon's have no issues?
I think, I was worried about taking the heavy favorites in both these games, but you know what? You sold me on Arizona, and that's the one I was kind of questioning. I had no doubt about Oregon. I'm thinking Oregon State's going to get an ass kicking.
I mean, really look at it. We did take North Carolina, who was the favorite. We took Florida State, who was the favorite. We took Notre Dame, who was the underdog. We took number 7 Arizona. And we took number 6 Oregon.
Those are both favorites.
Which are both favorites. I mean, we did lead heavy on the favorites, but I think going into the last week, a lot of them are starting to focus into, all right, it's going to be, conference championships. And then after that, it's going to be Selection Sunday and the NCAA tournament.
We got to make a name for it.
We got to make it for it. It's one and done. You lose, you go home, you're done, your season ends. You're a senior, you cry on the sidelines for 10 minutes. They hoard you out on camera, and then you get off the court and go home. Cry a little bit more.
Get your pudding cup and go to bed.
Graduate and then move on to the NBA. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Agreed.
So I think a lot of these teams are starting to focus into that now. And I think a lot of the heavy favorites are going to win this week going into the tournament, into the conference tournaments, because
they have to solidify.
They have to solidify their place and say, hey, look, I'm the best team in Pac-12. I'm the best team in the ACC. I'm the best team in the Big East. I'm the best team in the SEC.
And it's a lot of rival games.
And it's a lot of rival games, which, for the most part, I know when we did football, it was hard because rival games are hard to pick because you don't know with football.
Because they're always gritty.
But some of the college basketball games are a little more easier to pick because Oregon State is not that great of a team.
And Oregon is a damn good team, right?
Arizona State's not that great of a team. Arizona is a hell of a team. Arizona's going to have a Final Four run as long as they don't get tripped up somewhere.
So you think the Wildcats can do it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they can make a run. I mean, just as long as they don't get too big for the britches. I think if they keep it where they're at right now, playing good ball, doing what you have to do, concentrating one game at a time, not looking ahead, not looking back, just keep looking forward and doing what you have to do right in front of you, I think they could definitely make a run. UCLA, they're another team. They could make a run. Kentucky, Kansas.
I have no
North
faith
Carolina.
in Kentucky. I don't. I think Kentucky's getting bounced immediately.
You think one and done?
Yeah, possibly. Two at best.
Wow.
Dude, Kentucky, I don't care what people were saying about Kentucky. They could catch fire right now. It does not matter. They are so inconsistent. No way. No fucking way. They are missing the Final Four this year. I'm willing to put money on that. Anybody that wants to actually bet me some money on that one, we're not talking about we're just talking about whether or not they make the Final Four.
We legally do that, badass?
Hey, I'm not really concerned with the legalities.
Okay, I mean, as long as you're confident, then I'm confident. I have faith in you.
Well, how about this? I will change the wording. Strike the last 45 seconds from the record. All right. If anybody would like to make a gentleman's friendly wager with Sir Badass here, then just let me know. Is that better?
That's better.
There we go.
I don't think we can get in trouble for that one.
There we go.
All right, and then we have our last day of college basketball on Sunday, and we got 3 matchups. We have number 16 Purdue at Northwestern. Northwestern's one of them teams that they've been tricky. They've played upset City, I don't know how many times this year. But Purdue is that team I told you that they play really good ball at the end of the year.
And they always do.
And they always catch fire.
So we're going to keep going with the Boilermakers at this point?
I think so. I'm confident in Purdue.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to have any issues with Northwestern. I think they might struggle in the beginning, but I think once the second half gets going, I think they kind of extend that lead a little bit more.
Okay. I'm with that.
In our next game, we have your boys, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota,
The Gophs.
at number 22, Wisconsin. Now, see, I'm a little scared because Minnesota's had a pretty decent season. They've only lost 7 or 8 games this season. Wisconsin, we've talked about them. They're wishy-washy. I mean, sometimes I find it hard to pick them. And in this instance, I'm finding a lot of pressure to pick them. And I mean, Minnesota is not a great basketball team. Don't get it twisted. Their football squad is better than their basketball squad. But they've had a good season. And I can't deny that. They've had a really good season. Wisconsin, they've struggled. We've talked about it. This week, they lost to 2 unranked teams. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to pick Wisconsin. But in the same sense, I don't think Wisconsin is going to lose this game.
I think they're going to rebound against Iowa earlier in the week. I think it's going to give them confidence, and I think they're going to beat Minnesota. I think Minnesota might play them decently, but Wisconsin's not going to lose all these games outright because if they do, they're going to miss the tournament, and they know it. Because they're going to get bounced out of the top 25. And yes, if they do make it in, they know they're not going to get seeded very well.
So we're confident taking number 22 Wisconsin.
I think so. I don't think the slide continues. Maybe we're wrong. But I don't think we are.
Last pick, badass.
Last pick.
This is the end, my friend.
This is the end.
Last game of our picks for the week, for the year. We have number 18 Cincinnati at UConn. Now, if you said UConn 5 years ago, I'd say maybe the UConn an upset over Cincinnati. But fast forward to 5 years, they're not as good as what they used to be.
No.
I think they've won 4 games this year.
Yeah, they've been horrible.
They're struggling. They're horrible. They're just as bad as Georgetown.
They're sucking real bad.
Georgetown might be just a hair better, but not by much.
So we're confident Cincinnati can go on the road.
I am, but in the same sense, Cincinnati's another one of those teams that wishy-washy. You don't know what Cincinnati team you're going to get. But, again, I said it earlier, it's getting near the conference title and the March Madness, and the top teams are going to play good ball. They're getting amped up for this is like just the start line where they're squealing their tires and doing the burnout, and they're getting ready to line up and go for that long haul down the drag strip. This is what they're getting ready for. So, I mean, I think Cincinnati is definitely going to win this game. UConn, again, they suck. They're
Well,
horrible.
they know if they lose to shitty UConn, that's like, dude, what are you doing? Like you said, this is the finish line. You have to finish strong.
I mean, right now you're sitting at 18. You beat UConn and then have a good run in the Big East tournament. You don't know. You could get a 4 or 5 seed, which is not bad in the tournament.
No, you don't want the 5 seed.
No, you don't want the 5 seed.
No one wants the 5 seed.
There's always them 12 seeds that come in and whoop ass.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want the 5 seed.
That number 12, Wichita State.
Exactly, and that's probably what it's going to end up being.
I can see, honestly, you're laughing at this, but I can see like a Wichita State versus a Wisconsin.
Wisconsin getting whopped.
And Wichita State beating Wisconsin.
No, dude, I see that all day long. I'm with you on that. No laughter. That's for real. That could happen. That probably will happen.
I don't know what it is, but Wichita State plays good ball when it comes to the tournament.
Hell yeah, not only that, they recruit damn good players too. They're not scrubs.
Used to be, you talk about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even 7 or 8. They were but they were starting to build.
But now they're
now they've built themselves a nice big mountain and they're standing at the top of it and like, all right, big boys, we're ready to come play with you guys.
Like there's not just fucking one team in Kansas that's good, motherfucker. We're hey, what's up?
So go ahead and we'll take Cincinnati over UConn.
Yeah.
And that is it, badass. All our picks are in for the week.
Picks are in?
Picks are in.
Hey, that's not a bad thing, though. Not a bad thing at all.
No, not at all. So, that's going to be it for us this week, badass. Show's over. Episode 23 in the books. Like I said, next week we'll have episode 24. Talk about the NFL Combine. We're going to talk about the conference tournaments. Any top stories going on, because apparently athletes are dickheads and like to get in trouble and be badass, be old Billy badass and get in trouble. So we'll probably have somebody getting in trouble, somebody getting arrested, somebody getting suspended, somebody fighting with somebody. Something will happen. It seems like it always does every week for us, badass.
Hey, we don't make the news. We just sit back and we report and we let y'all know how we feel about it. We don't have to make it. We really don't. I mean, I alluded earlier that you can make the news if you really want, but hell, we don't really have to at this point. Hell, they're doing just a fine enough job for us.
So we have that going on for next week. And then, of course, the following week we have our special Monday show, which we're going to be doing probably around like 8 o'clock. And that's going to be strictly our tournament. We're each going to take a tournament bracket. We're going to fill it out. And we're going to go over our picks, talk about it a little bit. And then after that, we're going to be officially live. Like each week, we're going to be starting to do our shows off my laptop and our soundboard that we have. So our shows are going to start sounding a lot better. They're not going to sound pre-recorded. Some things that might not come through that it's hard to hear. You're going to have no problems with it because we're going to have a soundboard. We'll be able to pod everything up to the right sound so everybody can hear it and it sounds good.
Oh, yeah, no, we're very close to going live. And, we're going to try our best to keep our times, concurrent, try to keep shows always on a continuous, schedule. But, again, with our work schedules the way they're about to be, you never know when we're going to have to do the show. But we will most certainly make sure that you are given tons of advance. Like, you'll know when to tune in because we are looking very, 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 very much so to getting this on live. We want to be able to interact with our fans. We want to be able to interact with our haters. We want to know what you want to talk about. It ain't just about what we want to talk about. Hell, we want to have people call in and be like, hey, we want to talk about this. Well, then let's fucking talk about it.
You know what's really cool, badass? On Facebook Live, they actually have a comment section. So as we're doing the show and everything, we get more people on there. And yes, that's right, guys. Monday, March 13th, we will be Facebook Live. So that means on Monday the 13th, and we'll let you know what time, you guys log into Facebook, hit our little video feed, and we're actually doing our show live, doing our March Madness picks.
And like I said, we don't know quite when, but we do know it's going to be the Monday show because obviously Selection Sunday, we have to get right on it because it's such a big deal. But yes, we're going to be making some picks. We're going to actually dissect games. We're going to break it down game by game because that we can really get into this and have fun because it's the entire bracket. And we look forward to it.
So then we have that, and then after that, from then on, we'll be doing our shows like that live. And if hopefully we get enough people on Facebook Live for us, we'll keep doing the Facebook Live thing. We have no problem. We just want to make sure people are out there watching us. So not only can you listen to us, you can actually see a live feed of us as we're doing the show, which is pretty neat.
And not only that, we're open to suggestions, comments. We'd like to get some, polls up and have our fans vote. We're going to have some competitions and shit. Believe me, once the logo is up and we're branded, it's going to be on everything. And we're going to be, having prizes that we can actually give away on air because we're trying to actually do this. We're trying to do something big here, and we got to start somewhere.
I'm not going to say it, but Maisnick Moose Ball.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it soon.
Yeah.
But we need the people to do it. That's what makes it great.
So definitely we'll be letting you guys know a little bit more about that once March Madness ends. We'll let you know more about that game that we're talking about. It's gonna be coming up, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Me and Badass played it numerous times just to try it out and see what it was like. We were like, damn, we could actually do a whole segment of this. So definitely keep listening to us. Remember, guys, you can catch us at www.theburgerandbadassshow@facebook.com or www.theburgerandbadassshow@youtube.com. Either one of us, you can go there, either place. Check out all our videos. Of course, like I said, episodes 10 through 22 are up there now. 23, because we're doing our show a little early tonight. 23 will be up by tomorrow night. So we'll only have a one-day turnaround for this one, and I'm actually caught up on my editing, so from now on, shows will be up a lot quicker now.
Exactly. See, I don't got to stress about having to do all that editing because it's all done.
Now it's just easy peasy.
And all of that, remember, it's like we were talking about earlier off air. You were starting to worry about episode 24, and I was like, no, slow it down. Worry about this one here. Once we get this one done, then we worry about the next one. And you were like, you're right.
Yeah, sometimes I have to be brought down from sometimes I get a little over anxious and I'm like, all right, what about this? What about this? What about this? And you're like, whoa, Burger.
You can't
slow
put the
it
cart
down
before the horse.
Yeah, slow it down. Let's worry about this in front of us first, and then worry about everything else later.
And everything will just fall into place.
Exactly. So that is going to do it for us this week. Burger and Badass Show, episode 23 is in the book. Badass, do you have anything to add before we get out of here tonight?
Maybe we can all sing a great song together. Actually, no, we're not singing shit.
No Kumbaya?
No, I was actually gonna do one of these little public service announcement skits I've been working on. We're gonna give it to them at a different time because I'm gonna actually perfect it. But we're gonna start having public service announcements from the Badass to give to you right here before the show ends. It's gonna be pre-recorded clips of pure insanity because everyone's always said that there needs to be a camera on me for the crazy moments because Burger has seen them.
Oh, I've definitely seen them.
And they're worthy.
All right, so guys, we'll see you next Wednesday. Again, like I said, NFL Combine and the conference tournament. So we'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks for all the support.
Night, motherfuckers.